Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, a elderly man on ganja charges requests a lawyer to beg on his behalf. A case management hearing has been set for an elderly man facing ganja-related charges after his appearance at the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. Van Edwards stood before presiding judge Sancha Burrell to answer to charges of possession of ganja, dealing in ganja, and using premises for sale of ganja. Edwards took accountability for the 9 pounds of ganja found on the premises where he said his daughter and some other persons had occupied at the time of his arrest. He requested a lawyer, and when asked by Burrell, "What do you need a lawyer for?" Edwards replied, "To beg for me." The matter was stood down, and Edwards stepped out with an attorney to discuss the matter. He then returned to request a legal aid counsel. An attorney stepped in, but Burrell said she was bothered by the fact that based on Edwards' explanation, it seemed like he was coerced into taking responsibility to protect his daughter and the other individuals who occupied the premises. Edwards is to return to court on June 24 for a case management hearing. St. Mary man arrested for cannabis-laced items. A 46-year-old St. Mary man was taken into custody early Wednesday morning after a police operation reportedly found several items laced and infused with cannabis. Police reports are that the St. Mary Police, along with the Firearms and the Narcotics Investigation Division, conducted an operation in the Torah Isle area. Based on intelligence, the police went to a 3-bedroom concrete house in the Prospect area where they searched the man's house and found the following items: 200 cannabis-infused gummies, 17 sugarcane candies labeled High Vibes, several packets of edible cannabis products including Needs gummies, 9 packets and 11 cups of compressed ganja strains, 7 saucers containing loose ganja, bottles and containers of rum infused with ganja, a packet of cannabis-infused Tic Tacs, 1 packet labeled Island Spice, and hot wing sauce infused with cannabis. The unemployed man is said not to be a cannabis licensee. The police are reminding the public that the sale and the distribution of cannabis-infused edibles remains illegal under Jamaica law and poses a significant health risk, especially to minors. Deane charged for body found in hole last year. The long arm of the law has caught and charged a man in connection with a murder that occurred in Roostown, Kingston, more than a year ago. The accused, Dennis Deane McKinley, a factory worker from Wellington Road in Kingston 13, was charged by detectives assigned to the Kingston Western Division Proactive Investigation Unit on Tuesday. McKinley has been charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, preventing the lawful burial of a corpse, and being part of a criminal organization. He is accused of the killing of Andrew Tallman Cunningham, 26, who was shot to death on Sunday, March 17, 2024, on Ramsey Road in the community. Reports were that between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., Cunningham was at home when he was shot and killed by several armed men. The gunmen, the police said, wrapped his body in curtains and a white sheet and placed it in a blue barrel. The killers then reportedly used a trolley to push the barrel along the roadway to an open lot along Ruben Avenue, where the body was thrown into a hole. The body was retrieved from the hole the following day and transported to the Kingston Public Hospital, where doctors pronounced Cunningham dead on arrival. Following investigations, McKinley was recently held and taken into police custody. He was later charged based on eyewitness statements after a question and answer session with his attorney. A court date is being finalized, the police said. Teen accused of robbing biker granted bail. A teen accused of robbery with aggravation and malicious destruction of property was granted bail when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. Miguel Lawrence, 18, was arrested and charged after he was identified as being among a group of individuals who allegedly robbed a motorcyclist and damaged the bike during the incident. According to the prosecution, the biker was returning from an event when he was attacked and robbed. Lawrence's attorney, however, argued that his client was merely a passerby and did not participate in the robbery. He told the court that when the police arrived to make arrest, others fled the scene, while Lawrence remained because he had no involvement. The attorney also pointed out that his client was identified solely by his hairstyle. Presiding Parish Judge Sanchez Borrell, upon observing Lawrence's unkempt, matted plaits, advised that he consider getting a haircut, to which his attorney agreed. The defense requested bail on the basis that Lawrence had no previous convictions. Bail was granted in the sum of $250,000. Lawrence is scheduled to return to court on July 3. In the Deane trial, items from cell tested positive. A forensic science officer assigned to the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine on Wednesday testified in the ongoing Deane case that a test conducted on 16 samples and the items collected from the crime scene for analysis showed that all except 2 had the presence of blood. However, the test could not verify the origin of the blood. The 12th witness, who continued her testimony from Monday, told the Westmoreland Circuit Court that the samples and items for analysis were collected on August 4 and 19 in 2024 and September 15, 2014. The items that returned positive for the presence of blood include a swab taken from a drain pipe outside the cell block of the Barnett Street Police Station, a swab from the passageway in front of cell number 4, a swab from the wall of the scene of the crime, a swab of a bedpost, a pair of multicolored shorts, a pair of green shorts, along with more than one shirt and pairs of shorts, a bag containing a brown and black shoe belonging to Deane, and another bag containing a dirty sleeveless shirt belonging to one of 3 men who were in the cell with Deane returned negative for the presence of blood. On the other hand, the witness told the court that a package containing left and right-hand fingernail clippings, which was taken from Deane during a post-mortem, returned positive for the presence of blood. However, the test did not indicate if the blood was that of a human. Also on Wednesday, the Crown failed in its attempts to show 2 witnesses from the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine a pair of blue denim trousers belonging to Deane. This is the 4th time that the package marked F has been barred from being entered into evidence. The first 2 attempts were on April 25. Also in court on Wednesday, a senior forensic science officer, the 4th witness from the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine, ended the day's proceedings with a testimony about a DNA test carried out on the various samples and items. The witness is expected to present her findings to the court when the case resumes Thursday. The 3 accused are Corporal Elaine Stewart and the District Constables Marlon Grant and Juliana Cleavon, all of whom are charged with manslaughter and misconduct in a public office. The allegations in the case are that Deane was arrested for possession of a ganja spliff and placed in custody, where he was brutally beaten on August 3, 2014. He sustained severe injuries to his brain, which left him in a coma. He died 3 days later at Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. It is alleged that the 3 cops were on duty at the police station when Deane was beaten. It is further alleged that Stewart, who has an additional charge of perverting the course of justice, instructed that the cell in which the attack took place be cleaned before the arrival of investigators from the Independent Commission of Investigations. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.